way that we record it and then we post it. Yeah, I think it's like
Okay, I'll go to your page on YouTube to see that, to double check.
and then you can share that on all my pages.
Sure.
Way that we record it and then we post it. Yeah, I think it's like
Okay, I'll go to your page on YouTube to see that, to double check.
and then you can share that on all my pages. Sure. Way that we record it and then we post it. Yeah, I think it's like
Okay, I'll go to your page on YouTube to see that, to double check.
and then you can share that on all my pages. Sure. Way that we record it and then we post it. Yeah, I think it's like okay. I don't know what's happening. Eleni, it might be better for you to start it. I'll make you co-host
You mean on YouTube?
on YouTube, on Facebook, because
Oh.
maybe there's something wrong with my Facebook.
Sure, you can make me co-host.
Hang on, live producer. Okay, let me just go. Okay. Let's see if this works. Now one last try, and then I'll turn you. It's saying, do you use stream key? Should I say that? Stream key, it's asking me, do you want to use a stream key? No. Could it be that Sasha and all are setting this up?
I'm not sure. 1 second.
It's not giving me an option to go live. Live producer, use stream key.
I hope it's not on my side.
Anila, I think you're live on YouTube right now.
You think we are? Oh, I think you might be. Right. Oh yeah. I don't know. Eleni, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm double checking your YouTube, but I think you're live.
Okay.
Yes, you're live on YouTube.
All right.
And also, I would say record it from your computer if you can,
Yeah.
so that we have it there. Okay?
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. Okay. Sorry, Jolie.
No worries.
All right, so we start again. And I want to introduce Jolie Ahmed to you. She's from Bangladesh, but she is American, and she's in a beautiful kitchen and a beautiful sari. I'm Anila. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Ahmed-Ramadan series. We take you to a very different kitchen. As you know, that Muslims are not monolithic. We are very diverse, and we come from different cultural backgrounds. And today we want to share the cultural richness of the Bangladeshi community in America. And for that, I have Jolie Ahmed. She's going to be talking about how Ramadan is celebrated in her household and how she, in her fantastic cooking, Jolie's Kitchen started cooking, and COVID brings opportunities. And she's going to talk about how she took on this mammoth task of creating Jolie's Kitchen during COVID. Not only that, she's going to show us how to make some fantastic Bangladeshi Ramadan dishes. So over to you, Jolie, and I'm.
Thank you, Anila. I really appreciate having me, and I wanted to wish everyone happy Ramadan. This is my pleasure to be here. I really appreciate you guys having me here. So Ramadan is special for every Muslim, and so is in my house. I know, like in a month of Ramadan, we cook usually so many different dishes, like sweet dishes, spicy dishes, all these curries and everything. So with a limited time, I can only introduce few items that, I would like to do cook today, especially the one that is very traditional in our culture. So I also thought that I will cook some fish, because fish is a very, very Bangladeshi dish, but like fish curry, especially in Southeast Asia, I think, Bangladeshi people is known for fish. So I thought I'll try to make one fish curry as well if we have if we have time. But what I would like to say, how my background, I'll like to talk about a little bit of my background. So I'm originally from Bangladesh. I was born in Bangladesh. I did some education there, and then I moved to Sweden. And my middle school, high school, I finished in Sweden, and then I moved to America. I studied here and married. I have two beautiful daughters. They're 17 and 14. And I love cooking. Cooking was always my hobby, but I never thought about YouTubing. But during a pandemic, when kids were home, my husband was home, and I just realized that I was always in the kitchen. I was cooking and cooking and cooking. I mean, when we had a normal life, my household only there used to have 3 meals, and then during Ramadan, during COVID, I think we're having 6 to 7 meals a day.
That was the same in every household.
Yeah, so I think that was the cases for every houses. So then I just thought, what, since I'm always in the kitchen, why not just share my recipes with my friends and families. And then I started YouTubing, and then I'm on Facebook page. So like I said, I'm still pretty new, but I'm just I do it for fun and as hobby, since I like cooking. So that's how I started my YouTubing. And today I will introduce some of the iftar item, and then one fish curry. So that's like for dinner. And then iftar, usually we start with some fried stuff, as you know. So what I have here, I prepare myself a little bit ahead of time, so that way we don't have to yeah, so I have chopped and cut and prepared most of the items, so that way it's ready to cook. So I'm going to start with the first item that I'm going to do is called chola. This is in Bengali, we call it chola. So this one is already boiled and
these are garbanzo beans?
It is a garbanzo, but this is a black one, So the garbanzo one is usually white. I'm not so sure what is the difference. And also garbanzo is much bigger than this one.
Okay. And can you get them at any grocery store?
Any grocery store. Pretty much all the Indian, for sure, Indian, Bangladeshi grocery store. I have seen also some Middle Eastern grocery store as well. So yes, you can get it in any grocery store. And these are actually very healthier than garbanzo, I believe, because the fiber, it has an amazing fiber and it tastes good. And Bangladeshi people usually use this one. We call it chola. So I'm going to make this chola with, I'll mix with some potato. So the potato is cooked and I cut it in smaller pieces. So that way it's ready to go. And I am going to make one vegetable. We call it in Bengali pakora, or I think it's Indian and Pakistani as well. So I'm going to make one vegetable pakora. The reason I thought I should make one vegetable pakora because, month of Ramadan, usually we do a lot of, a little bit unhealthy food, I would say, like a lot of fried stuff, a lot of sweet dishes. And kids normally don't eat so much vegetables. So that I thought this is a good way of feeding them vegetable at the same time. It's also tasty. So what I have here for that, I have a lot of chopped spinach, fresh chopped. And then I have a cabbage. And then I have some shredded potatoes. And I actually washed it and I made sure that all the starch is gone. So that way it's a little bit less carb. And I also have shredded carrots. So these, here I have some onion. So basically my vegetable pakora will be spinach, cabbage, carrots, potato and onion. And of course, I chopped lots of green chilies. I love spicy food. So I have all these chopped chilies prepared already.
I think this is going to be great for my American friends are always asking for vegetarian recipes.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for them. Yeah, absolutely. And because we're we're going to fry it and it has to hold it together. So in order for that, we need to use, these are chick flours. We call it besan. So we're going to use this, and I always mix it with the rice flour. So what rice flour does, it makes it more crispy. So I'm going to combine all these together with besan and rice flour, and then mix it. And then my oil is I already turned on the stove. So I'm going to start frying. While I start frying that, on my next stove, I'm going to do the chola. And then my other stuff. Also, I personally love noodles, especially with the vegetable and egg and a lot of, with a little bit of curry powder. So month of Ramadan, I always actually make some noodles too. So I did boil my noodles and chop the vegetables. So for my noodles, I have all the vegetable chopped and ready. So I think I'm pretty much ready to start. And so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my camera toward my stove. All right. So this one, I'm going to start with my chola. And this one, I'm going to start with all my fried stuff. So I'm also, sorry, I forgot to mention that I will also use the eggplant pakora. So my eggplants are already cut in thin slices. And I'm going to make the eggplant pakora. Then I have the cauliflower, which I'm planning to do at the end if I have enough time, but it's already ready. So that we will wait at the end of the, timing. So we'll see how much time we have. So, and another very, very important thing that I forgot. So this is lentil, the yellow lentil, musur dal. So this one, I made it paste, and this is one of the very, very traditional Bangladeshi pakora, like we call it piaju in Bengali. So this one is it's a musur dal, like a lentil, yellow lentil. I made it paste, and I'm gonna add onion, chilies, cilantro, salt, and then mix it and then deep fried. So this is a very delicious one. And for any vegetarian people, they would actually love all the dishes that I'm preparing today, except for fish. Everything is like for any vegetarian people, they're gonna love it. So
I think I'm gonna love it, and my kids are gonna love it because they like healthy food. And
yeah,
all the young people have got into cooking in the past 1 year, COVID.
yes.
In getting in the kitchen with their parents, or if they're alone. My daughter's been doing that, and she'll be so happy to see all the vegetables that you're using, Jolie.
And for vegetable pakora, I think the spinach is a great, it's like a fantastic vegetable because that's so good for everybody. And the cabbage is good, carrots is good. You can literally use any vegetable you like. I thought I should, I tried to use a low carb vegetable basically. So I thought, instead of using all kind of vegetable, let's just stick to the low carb one. So that's why I chose cabbage and spinach and, carrots. So so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to use my hand. So excuse me. I'm going to start with my piaju. So I have some onion here. And for piaju, which is the lentil one, we use a lot of onion because that is the key thing. So you have to use a lot of onion. And I like spicy, so I'll do a lot of chilies as well. Chilies. Some people use little turmeric just to get the color. I do sometimes I don't. So today I'm going to use some turmeric as well. And a little bit of chili powder. And I have salt here. So the ingredients are pretty simple, and some cilantro. So that is. So basically, I'm going to mix it with my hand. I like to touch my food with hands. So a lot of people use it like, knife, fork and spoon and all that. But I love touching it with the food, with the hand. I feel like, I get the personal feeling and, when I'm touching it, otherwise it's like not fun for me. So, and because this was already paste, I prepared it, ahead of time, so it's not going to take that long. Unfortunately, I'm fasting, so I will not be able to tell whether salt is enough or not. But since I have been cooking for a long time, I do have an idea how much usually you need to use it or not. So I think I'm gonna just add a little bit more. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so we're gonna start with the piaju. We Bengali call it piaju, which is like pakora in Hindi. I think it's called pakora. So, all right. So this one is ready to go. So. Okay.
And then tell us about the oil that you're frying. What kind of oil are you using and how long do you have to make it? Does it have to be really, really hot?
Yes, it has to be pretty hot because otherwise, right now I have it in a very low heat, but I'm going to increase it right now. So I would say medium heat, so that way it doesn't get burned. But my oil is not very hot right now, so I just increased. But once it's like hot, I'm gonna go a little bit medium, so that way it doesn't get burned, because this has to cook for at least 5-10 minutes too. So what I do, I put it with my hand.
Okay.
I just grab a little, like about this much, and I pour it in straight to the oil. So I can see my oil is not hot enough, but it's okay because I already increased it. So I'll just keep going it.
And you're making sort of.
So you just make it like a ball.
Like a small hamburger shape.
Yeah, like a very, very small hamburger or little, it doesn't have to be that perfect shape.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be pretty good. All right. And this lentil pakora is actually super delicious. I do not know if you ever had it, but the key thing is you have to add a lot of onion.
Okay.
Lots of onion. So onion, salt, and chili.
Tell us about the paste. How did you get that consistency?
Oh, so this is do you know Musur dal?
Yes. So the yellow,
dal. Yellow one, yes. So I soaked for about 30 minutes, and then I just hand blended.
Okay, so you put it all in the blender and you got the paste from the dal, the lentils.
So, yeah, just dal, nothing else. So I didn't add anything else. So, and I just hand blended, and it literally took me like 3 to 4 minutes. And then
and you added a little bit of salt. That's it. No other masalas or flavors.
Not with this one. So this one, we don't want to lose the actual dal flavor, the lentil flavor. So that's why this one, it's only needed cilantro, fresh cut cilantro, chili, onion, and some salt. That's all. And for color, if you want to have a better color, some people do use some turmeric. I usually don't, but turmeric just makes the color a little bit prettier. That's it. So.
And they're sizzling. I can see the sizzle in the pot. I can see the pakora sizzling.
Okay, so
yeah, that's
if you can see, can you see? Let me.
Now I can see much better. So. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do, I'll just wait for maybe 5-10 minutes. Oh, hold on. My sari is, yeah, I knew that I'm going to have a hard time with my sari. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah, now, as you're wrapping up your sari again and trying to become Jolie, the kitchen chef, Tell us about the beautiful sari you're wearing.
Okay, so like I said, I usually, one second. My sari, I was so afraid of like, okay, so it's done. Sorry about that.
All right.
It's my first time wearing a sari.
No, you look
So
lovely.
sari is a very traditional Bangladeshi outfit, and we have shalwar kameez as well, but we Bangladeshi prefer, like, I personally wear sari all the time. Sometimes I wear shalwar kameez, but this is my favorite. I just love it. So I thought, since, today I got the opportunity, and I know a lot of people did kind of like know how, what is saris. So I wore something simple because I knew I was going to be in the kitchen. I didn't want to, I mean, the oil and this and that kind, spray all over. So that's why I wore a simple one. But yeah, sari is something, I love it. And this is very traditional Bangladeshi outfit. So, and I wear it whenever I get the opportunity.
No, you look lovely. And I told you before, I thought I admire how you put it on so quickly and you're cooking with it. I know that when when Pakistanis wear saris, we do it for weddings, and it's only that occasion we get ready, we go to the wedding, and we come
and
back.
then you take off. Yeah. No, for us, actually, we wear it like, no, I personally don't. I only wear it just like you explained, like when you go to the party, Eid party, or any other, birthday party, anniversary party. If it's a Bangladeshi party, then I always wear sari. But same thing, I go to the party, I wear it, but I can keep it nicely, no problem. And I'm very comfortable with that. But sometimes, I like to always pin it so that way it doesn't come off. So today, actually, I did not. So that's why I was having a little hard time. And I never cook with sari. So that's why.
Okay, so that's a tip for everybody. Do not cook with a sari.
I mean, unless you're very comfortable, because, people from Bangladesh, like, for instance, my mom or grandma or all their life, they wear sari and they cook with that. They work with sari only. Like, I've never seen my mom wear anything else rather than sari, Yeah. So I guess we're not used to, that's why it's a little hassle. But normally, for traditional Bangladeshi people, it's pretty common. It's normal.
And you said you were born in a town near Dhaka. Now, is that right?
It is. The city is called Magura, but I believe the district is Joshore. So I was born there, and then I moved to Sweden, and I did my middle school and high school there. And for my undergrad, I did here in California.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And right now you are in Southern California.
I am, yes. Yes, I'm in LA. So it's nice. It's pretty warm, actually, here. It's pretty hot.
Jolie, what's the name of your cooking channel so that we can share it?
Jolie's Kitchen.
Jolie's Kitchen.
Jolie's Kitchen. Jolie, Jolie, Jolie's Kitchen / healthy lifestyle.
I like that.
So while my pakora is cooking, I'm actually going to make. I think I'm going to start making noodles. So here I have 7 eggs. So I'm going to mix this with a little bit of salt, onion, and chili. I'm going to literally scramble it. And then I will add all my vegetables with that. Then I will pour my noodles. So this is like if you have everything chopped and cut, and if noodles is already boiled, it's literally 5 to 10 minutes prep. Very, very, very simple, but it has egg. I will add broccoli, cabbage, carrots, and noodles. So it is healthy. You're getting a lot of nutrition, not just you're having pasta. Yeah. And I purposely added a lot of egg, because we need Ramadan, we're fasting, and we need, when we break it, we need something good. So for noodles, I'm gonna use olive oil, because when I fry, I use canola oil or vegetable oil. But anything that I cook for my family, I usually use olive oil. So for noodles, I'm going to start with olive oil, and then.
Okay. Do you want to can you turn the camera a little bit to your other dish?
Yes, I am.
Thanks. Yeah. Now we see.
All right.
Stove.
So my pan, I'm going to just add a little bit of chili and salt. So this, I mixed it with a little bit of onion, chili, salt, mix it. And now I'm going to just scramble it.
So you had a little bit of olive oil and then
Olive oil, just a little bit. I mean, it's just like, you know, how you scramble your egg.
Yeah.
So just the way you scramble your egg, I'm just going to scramble it together. And you don't need to do a lot of oil. But I'm going to add a little bit more when I pour all my vegetables. Is it?
Yes,
Can
we
you
can
see it?
well. Yeah.
Perfect. And my pakora is getting golden color. So that means it's soon, I'm going to flip it and cook the other side, and then it will be done.
And the pakoras, is it important to have lots of oil at the beginning? Because
it has to be deep fried, unfortunately.
Right.
That is the sad part, that, you know, it has to be deep fried. But what I do, I usually, once it's deep fried, I put it on the paper towel, and I try to make sure all the oil is absorbed. So yeah, so my eggs are pretty much scrambled, as you can see.
Okay.
But I like to make it a little bit golden color because I'm going to add it with noodles. I don't want the egg to smell raw. So I'm going to make it a little bit colorful until it gets golden. And meanwhile, my pakora, I think it's ready to flip.
Oh, wow. The color that's coming out of your
Yes. Let me show a little bit from
golden
the
brown.
closer. Yeah, so it's coming out golden brown. So other side is actually prettier. So you can see this is the color we're gonna have at the end. So I'm gonna flip it all.
And Jolie, is
Yes.
are you going to reduce the flame on that, or are you just going to keep it at medium? I see that it's like a medium, right?
Right now, I'm gonna, I just reduced a little bit because I want my dal to cook completely. So.
Oh yeah, it's dal, it's lentils.
It's a lentil, yeah. But the masoor dal usually doesn't take that long to cook. So, okay. So this is going to take another maybe 5 minutes until the both side is done. And my egg is looking golden color now. I like to make it like, I like to break my scrambled egg so that way it's not a big chunk. So I'm gonna just break it a little bit, and then, all right. Now I'm gonna add my broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do a little bit of carrots to get the beautiful color. And I'll do the broccoli as well. I'll do the cabbage a little bit later because cabbage doesn't take that long to cook. So I'll wait that for a little bit. For 5 more minutes. I'll add some more olive oil here, so it's not too dry. Yeah. Now I'm gonna add some chili, the green chili here, because like I said, I love spicy noodles. So I'm gonna do some green chili and some onion. Green chili, okay, and I'll do some onions.
So you added some green chilies. You added
I
some
so I had broccoli,
and broccoli into
carrots.
the egg.
I have carrots, broccoli, onion, chili, and now I'm gonna add some salt. And
just a
add the-
dash of salt.
sorry,
And you added just a little dash of salt.
just a little, like a half spoon, half.
Estimated it, yeah.
Yeah, and look at the beautiful color.
Yeah, it looks really
I mean, it's yellow, it's red, it's green, and I'm gonna now add some cabbage. So that way you have full of vegetable. And when you're eating it, you don't feel like you're just eating noodles by itself. So you have like a lot of vegetable. And like I said, I also had 7 eggs there. So it's very
it's healthy.
full meal actually.
That is true. It has all the protein that you need. And then
Yes. And sometimes I use some chicken, or I can also do shrimp as well. So today I just did the egg, but you can do chicken or what do you call, or ground turkey, ground beef, you know, anything you want, shrimp. So the noodles actually doesn't take that long. So that is that. And I have, excuse me. Oh, my God. Okay. My throat got turned off. Okay, sorry about that. Perfect. Low heat. And my noodles is already boiled. I'm gonna just pour it there. I use the spaghetti noodles, so you can use any one. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I already boiled this one, so I'm gonna just pour it.
That's a really wholesome meal, especially for our young people. Like my kids would love that. To have, you know, the noodles.
This one I'm gonna use both my. Yeah, I think the noodles, this one actually my kids loves it too, because I think every kid still love noodles, right? But usually kids prefer no vegetable, but I always try to convince my kids to eat vegetables.
So all those parents that want to convince their kids that vegetables can be tasty.
Yeah.
I think this is a great idea. You know, now that you're making this, it's reminding me of my mother, and her dilemma was the same thing. Like, how do I get my kids, my daughters, to eat vegetables?
Vegetable.
I don't know if you remember the word macaroni.
Oh yeah, my daughter loves it.
Her mother used to make macaroni, and then she would like try to put as many vegetables so that because of macaroni, her kids would eat, you know.
Oh wow.
So you know, this is taking me back to my childhood in Pakistan.
Yes, actually, I just on the first Rosa, my daughter was fasting, so she asked for that. So I had to make macaroni for her. So she loves it. That's her favorite. So this one is pretty much done. I don't like to overcook my vegetable. So because broccoli and cabbage, if you overcook it becomes soggy. So I like to have like crunchy bite. So I'm not going to cook too much. This is pretty much done.
It's ready.
And we have the pretty color, and this one is done. So I'm going to just pour it back to my serving dish. Okay. One is done. I would like to show you from the closer look.
Oh, wow.
So
look, good.
And it is not oily at all. I used olive oil, and it has the pretty color, broccoli, cabbage, and my broccoli is not overly cooked. Cabbage is not overcooked either. Carrots are also medium cooked and full of egg. So this is a very delicious, meal for iftar or even full meal actually. So not necessarily just for iftar. So this is done. I'm going to start my chola now.
And for those of us that are fasting, hang in there. We have a few hours to go.
Excuse me.
But that's the thing a lot of people ask, like when you're in the kitchen, and you're fasting, what happens? And don't you think, Jolie, that we get trained and we get used to cooking and fasting at the same time? And
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And
right.
And I don't even feel like it's torturing. Some people are like, oh my gosh, it's torturing to cook and fasting. It doesn't bother me at all. I look forward to have iftar, but during the Ramadan, during the daytime I cook, it doesn't bother me. Only thing sometimes, when I cook, if my kids are not close to me, I can tell them, can you see if I need enough salt or not? But now my kids also, they fast. So it's really difficult. If everybody's fasting, so there's no one to taste, if I need enough salt or not. But when you're cooking for a long time, you get used to it. You have an idea, how much salt you usually need to put it. So this one, almost done. Look at this pretty color.
Wow, beautiful. Sizzling golden brown. And I have to try these pakoras because in Pakistan, most of the time our pakoras are gram flour. So I have never really had the ones with lentil. So
you can tell the difference. It's like a day and night. Really? So this is a very, very traditional Bangladeshi household. Every household you go, this is like one of the items they have to have it. Yeah. And we don't mix this with any other flour. Just masoor dal, lots of onion, chili, cilantro, and salt, of course. I didn't add any turmeric, but I still got the pretty color. So for some people, they add some turmeric just for even more yellow color. I like the natural color, so I kept it without turmeric. So
I think they look really tasty. And everybody loves lentils. I think lentils are very healthy. So
it's protein, lentil is also protein. So
and again, another great vegetarian dish that all of my friends who are vegetarians, you can make this and also enjoy it, as I will, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So this is the next one that I'm going to do. I'm going to add some a little bit of vegetable oil, and I'm going to start making chola. I think Indian, you guys probably call chana.
We also call it in Punjab, they call it chana. In Sindh and Karachi, they call it chola. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Right. So I'm going to start with my chana. So first, I'm going to saute my onion. Then once my onion is a little bit sauteed, I'm going to add a little bit of ginger and garlic paste. I don't like to use a lot of spices because I feel like if you use a lot of spices, your actual food taste goes away. So I try to have the actual taste of the food. So for example, this pakora. So if I added cumin, coriander, all the masala, then I would only taste the masala, not the actual dal. But you need onion and you need salt, and cilantro is always, delicious. So you don't lose that actual flavor, So same thing with chola. A lot of people use a lot of masala. I try to keep it less masala, but I'm going to use some ingredients. So this particular masala, I'm going to use 2 bay leaves, just for the flavor. I am doing 2 roasted chili.
Okay.
This is, by the way, it's from my own garden. So when the chilies are all ripe and red, I don't know. Sometimes I have too much. So what I do, I air dry and then I roast with a little bit of oil and I save it in the jar. So you have it all year.
Yeah.
And, I think you know what bhorta is?
No, tell me about
So it's like any bhorta means anything we do mashed, like a mashed potato. We call it bhorta. So when I make that kind of bhortas, Bangladeshi people eat a lot of bhortas. And for that, these kind of chilies are delicious. So I'm going to use 2 of those. And then I'm also going to do some cinnamon stick for the flavor. So just few cinnamon stick and a couple of cardamoms.
Okay.
That's it. So this is for the flavor. And I'm going to have 1 teaspoon of, I have a ginger and garlic paste here. So I'm just I put it all together. So I just pasted ginger and garlic together. So I'll just do 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon of ginger and garlic and your
1 teaspoon of ginger and garlic paste. Put it together. And once I'm gonna just wait a couple of minutes. In the meantime, my pakoras are ready. So I'm gonna remove this one. Look how pretty it is. I just have to show you.
Oh, yeah. That looks beautiful. Oh, now that's a piece of art. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Your pakoras are beautiful. And Jolie, you've inspired me to try the lentil pakoras. I'm going to do that.
This is, I would recommend every non-Bangladeshi people to try it. Yeah. I wish I could turn on my exhausted because normally I don't cook without my exhausted on. That then I'm going to have the problem with hearing. So
yeah.
Zara, can you open the door, please? Zara, can you open the door?
Yes, I know that we have, when we're cooking, we need to have all the vents open.
Yeah, I usually open my door, plus I turn on my ventilation on, but it's too noisy, so I'm gonna just deal with it. So I'm gonna add some chopped onion for my chola. Just a little bit, not too much.
Okay, so we have onions, we have tomatoes now, and we have the khada masalas, as we call them, fresh spices. Yeah.
Some spices like a cardamom, cinnamon, bay leaf, and I'm going to now add a little bit of chili powder, turmeric. So I'll start with some turmeric. And I'm doing everything like a half teaspoon. So I have a tiny little spoon. So 1 teaspoon of chili powder. And I'll do some salt as well. Yeah. All right. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil because it needs to go a little more oil. There you go. So while this is cooking, I'm going to remove my pakora right here. This is pretty heavy. Let me move the camera.
They look very crispy.
Yeah, it is totally crispy. And so every bite is going to be crispy. And let me see. This is almost done. Usually we do this fried stuff like in a hour before iftar time, so it's still warm and nice and crispy. So this is my first pakora, lentil pakora, which is done. And now I'm going to start with my eggplant. So in the same pot, I'm going to do the eggplant now. And here I have mixed of chickpea. I think I talked in the beginning, the rice flour and the and the chickpeas flour. So it's all mixed with a little bit of salt, pepper, chili. I did added some cumin and coriander here, so it gives you nice flavor because I'm gonna do the eggplant now. So I dip the eggplant with this batter, and you just have to hold it. Make sure it's coated with this, and then you put it on the pan. So that's my eggplant. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Jolie, can you hold hold it up so we can see the consistency of the batter?
So yeah, so it has to be like
that. Okay.
Like
now
that.
It's better now.
So it has to, your eggplant has to be covered with that. So if it's too thin, then your plant is not going to have the coat. So it has to be coated with that. So it cannot be very thin, or it cannot be very thick either. So this is like the perfect.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then just for the sake of time, if you can show us the cauliflower and a bit of all the vegetables.
Sorry, say it again.
So just for the sake of time, if you can show us how the cauliflower.
Yes, definitely. Actually, you know what? I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That in the same pan, I'm going to just hold the cauliflower now, and it's the same.
Just dip it up.
Dip it up and put it. And cauliflower is gonna take a little bit extra time than eggplant. So just dip it right there, bunch of cauliflower. And my eggplant is going to be done before cauliflower, which is fine. In the meantime, I'm going to start with my veggie pakora. While this is on the process, I'm going to start mixing my veggie pakora because that I haven't started yet. All right, perfect. So I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer so you can have a look.
Okay, so they're in the batter, in the oil, cooking and sizzling.
Now my chola is ready to go here. So this one, I'm ready to pour my chola.
Oh, that's great. That's where this is.
Yeah, and I'm also going to add my chopped potatoes. That is going to go with that chola. A lot of people, they do add potatoes. A lot of people, they don't. I do sometimes, like the last 2 days, I didn't have potatoes added. I just made it plain. But today I thought I could add some potatoes just for people to know that you can actually add vegetable if you want, like, I mean, potato especially. So I hope you can see this one.
Yes, I can see it. A question I have is, did you boil the potatoes before?
Yes. So in the beginning, I was mentioning that for the sake, because we have not much enough time, so I decided to boil my potato and I chop it in a smaller pieces. And then I also boil my chola. So that way, because the chola, it takes some time. So I boiled it actually this morning. So everything is chopped and cut this morning. So now that this was already boiled, it's not going to take that long time to cook. So as soon as I'm done with my chola, I do want to cook my fish curry. That is very interesting. And I think a lot of people will like it because fish is also another great recipe and it's very healthy. And fish is very traditional Bangladeshi dish as well. So this, I'm gonna wait probably another 10 minutes for chola. And then in the meantime, we will check the pakora. I'll show from the close-up a little bit.
That looks
I'm
wonderful.
gonna flip it. Extrude usually doesn't take that long, so it will be done pretty fast.
And you're just going to turn them over?
I'm just turning them. Yes, I'm just turning them,
Oh,
and
this one is done. Yeah.
and the pakora, by the way, it is so delicious, and pakora doesn't soak so much oil. So you can actually consider that's pretty healthy because the oil doesn't go inside. So
It's
whatever it's on the surface, and then if you have enough spices with this mixing, it's taste unbelievable. You know what is chaat masala?
Yes, yes, I
So
do.
if you if you add a little bit of chaat masala with this, it actually is gonna taste delicious. And which I actually did. I also added a little bit of chaat masala, so that will actually adds
the
some
flavors. Yeah.
It does. It definitely does. All right.
For
So
people that don't know what chaat masala is, we will be posting a picture of it. You can get it at any Indian South Asian store. It's also available at Mediterranean stores. And it's boxed and it says chaat masala. It truly flavor to everything that you're having, especially vegetarian dishes.
yes, I was going to see if I could show right now. I just have to look through my cabinet. Otherwise, I could just hold the box and people can just see, what chaat masala is. I do have it for sure. I just do not know exactly where I kept it. So this is well. When my chola is almost done, I'm going to spray some fresh cilantro, like a fresh chopped cilantro. So it will give some nice green color on the top. So that will be mostly for the decoration purpose. So. All right, so I'm gonna start mixing while that is on the, let me see if I turn on the stove a little bit low. And now I want to mix this with you, so that way you know how I'm gonna make the fish I'm gonna wait. But while my pakora is gone, while my pakora is cooking, I'm gonna do the veggie pakora now, which I have it here, the spinach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll add some spinach here. And I'll do some shredded potatoes. I'll just do a little bit. I'll not do the whole thing. Chopped onion, cabbage, I will do some chili powder, just a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of turmeric, chili, the green chili.
Green chili that you had, yeah.
And cilantro. And then I will have this 2 teaspoon or tablespoon of rice flour. So the rice flour, I don't put a lot, but that is just for the crispiness. So mostly I'm going to use the chickpeas flour. I think in India they call it besan.
Besan, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to use that. So I'm not going to use any water. So as I keep mixing it, from the vegetable, it's going to get a little bit the water. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't really need to add any water unless it's very, very dry. You could add it a little bit, but let's see if we need it or not. Probably not.
You know what they say about great chefs use their hands?
I love using my hand. I mean, honestly, if I could, I could use other stuff, but I think it's fun to use my hand.
Yeah, and plus
it tastes better, I think.
Yeah, and plus, that's your food, that's really going into your bodies, and that's how it feels. It's important to feel your food. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So, what am I missing?
In South Asian cooking, kitchens, you will find South Asian cooks using a lot of their hands to mix things up.
Yes.
It's like we call it just a guesstimate, but that's how they use it. Chutka of this, chutka of that, right?
Yes.
They also use their hands to ensure everything is mixed up. And
Right.
chefs will say,
So,
I didn't mix it, so I don't know.
as I'm mixing it, you can see it's the vegetable is getting a little bit soft. And oh, I forgot my carrots. That's why I was thinking one more vegetable missing. So my carrots. I also forgot my carrots.
Oh yeah, that gives it a dash of color.
Yes. So those are the lovely colors. You have green, yellow, red. It's just awesome. And this one is going to be very similar to the lentil pakora. So I'm going to just make a ball and then deep fry.
I didn't know you could do that without adding any liquid. So this is something new I've learned today.
You don't necessarily have to, but especially if I'm making it right now, instant. If I mix it and keep it for like 30 minutes, the natural of water from the vegetable, it comes and then it makes it even soft. But since I'm going to make it instant, I have to just keep mixing it until it holds together. And as you can see, look at it. It's already forming like a ball. Look. But there is no liquid. I didn't put any water here. See, I can actually make a ball without putting any sort of. So this is ready to fry. Oh. But I'm going to just do a couple of more minutes so that way it makes it nice and firm. And I just love the color, and spinach is so delicious. I'm going to add some more spinach. I love spinach pakora. A lot of people make just spinach pakora. I don't know if you've had it, but it's so good.
In Pakistan, we make eggplant and spinach pakoras, but we're not so creative when it comes to adding all the other vegetables. We need to be creative.
Right. Okay, so this is actually ready. Didn't take that long, as you could see, and it's all ready for fried now. Okay. So I'm going to move in to my other part of the cooking. Wash my hands. I think my eggplant is ready. Yeah, my eggplant is almost ready.
The brown golden color.
Yeah, you see the pretty color? So delicious.
It tells you it's ready.
Yeah. And cauliflower doesn't take that long either.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also dependent on how you like it. If you like your vegetables to be crisp, then you're not going to fry them that way.
Yeah, I don't personally like when it's too mushy. I like it when it's a little crunchy. So I love that way. And also now that, excuse me, since we started our iftar way early, so I'm gonna put it in the oven. So when I put it in the oven, so that will cook also for a little bit. So I'm not worried about.
So that's the tip. Then you can fry the. And then just keep it in the oven on low, or do you keep it?
And I keep it in very low, so that way you're not burning your food. And also sometimes, the last minute fried stuff, it's too much. Your house gets so warm and, it's not pleasant. So I try to make it like, a couple of hours before iftar, and then I put it in the oven, like usually do like 175 the temperature, and then it keeps warm like the entire couple of hours, and it doesn't, food doesn't even get burned. So
okay, that's another tip.
Yeah, absolutely. So
keep it in the oven, warm it up.
So anybody wants to make the iftar ahead of time, you just put it in a nice big tray. And for me, I keep everything in one tray. So one side I use my eggplant, then my lentil, then cauliflower and veggie pakora. I just put it in 4 or 5 corners, and then the whole tray goes into the oven. And then when you're serving, you just put it separate, or if it's just your family, just have it from the tray, You
Yeah.
don't have to.
I
You
know.
don't have to. Yeah, because then you have to do a lot of dishes as well. So you have to know what you're doing. So
No, it's hard work, but then it is totally worth it when you try the crunchy flavors that come out of.
absolutely. And also, you probably know our culture, our background. Like my mom or our parents. We grew up with servants. Like we have like 3, 4, 5 helper in the house. So here we have to do everything on our own. So chopping, cutting, dishing, everything is on our own. So over there back home, they have a good life because they have like
Yeah,
a couple of. Yeah, so that's why we have to do whatever is convenient for us, right?
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so my eggplants are looking beautiful, and
Oh, look at that.
look at the color, and it's actually done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drain all the oil, and then I'm going to transfer to my serving dish, and then I'm going to start my veggie pakoda.
Okay, I think we're gonna have time for the veggie pakoda, and we're gonna have to come back to you for the fish dish.
Okay. My veggie pakora, actually the fish dish is going to be on this pot, and this is all done. So we can start the fish over there.
All right.
Yeah, this is actually done. I'm going to transfer.
Okay, so the cholas or the chanas, whatever you want to call it,
Yes,
they are done, and
we're
they're
done with that.
on the stove for about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is done. I am going to transfer this to a serving dish. So that way, all right. So
See how it looks.
So here is my chola,
That looks
perfectly done.
That's beautiful.
And
Now I'm getting a little hungry watching all the
I know, me too. So now we're gonna start with the fish.
Okay.
And this while I'm doing the fish, so can you give me one onion, please? Give me one onion. Yeah,
So all of our viewers that are watching this, I want to tell you that in Ramadan, Muslims actually, they have fun making foods that for the rest of the year they may not make. So
this is only once a year.
So
yes.
Fried stuff, we as Muslims, we will probably make it more of in Ramadan, and then for the rest of the year, we'll try to be health conscious and not fried.
We just have the regular, chicken, beef, fish, vegetable. But this is a very special food because, a lot of people who are watching might think that, oh my God, this food that lady is cooking is so unhealthy, it's all deep fried. But keep that in your mind. This is only once a year.
Yeah.
We definitely do not do every year. And so I'm actually putting my veggie pakoras. So simply making a ball, but very lightly I'm tapping it. I don't want to make it too tight because then it's not going to cook inside. So slightly tapping it so that way it holds together. And so once this is done, and then my fish, that's it. And the fish is already, did I show you the fish that I prepared already?
No, you do want to show us that? We have about.
Yes, I would love to show that.
To finish up.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I was thinking, Jolie, if you could take pictures of it, we'd love to post it on our Facebook page.
I will. Yeah, definitely.
All the dishes when they, when they're ready, we want to.
Absolutely.
Those.
So this is almost done. My cauliflower is also done. So, if you have everything ready within an hour, you can easily do 4 or 5 dishes, no problem.
Yeah, I think you start getting used to it as Ramadan progresses, you know exactly what time.
Yeah, we know exactly what you need and what are the ingredients. And so here, to save my time, I have 2 fish here. So what I did, I pan fried my fish. So this is not completely raw. So I marinated my fish with a little bit of salt, pepper, and salt, chili, and turmeric. That's it. And then I pan fried. So now when I cook, it's going to save half of my time. So, and this is the fish. I cut it in a separate pieces, but I just put it together so it looks like fish. So that's
what kind of fish did you pick?
This is a pomfret.
Pomfret, which is the famous South Asian Bangladeshi
Yes.
pomfret.
Yes. I got it from Asian market and it's actually fresh. It's not frozen. So when I bought it, it was completely fresh. So I'm going to start my fish now while my pakoras are going. Okay, so I just need to chop some onion while I'm. I didn't realize that I was going to be over with my onions. So I'm going to just quickly chop my onions so that way you can see my chopping skill as well.
Let's see how you chop the onions.
I know. I usually, when I'm not in a hurry, I do a very nice job with the chopping, but right now,
for the sake of time, you're doing it in a split.
Yes, but I chop very fast, so it's not a problem.
I was in Hawaii with my daughter, and I had forgotten. I'm not a big fan of cooking. I'm a fan of eating. My husband cooks in my house.
Oh, how lucky! That's awesome. My husband doesn't come to the kitchen.
Yeah, my husband, he doesn't do many things in the house, but he will cook. And so, I've always had him chop the onions, but I was at my daughter's and she said, Mom, can you make keema? So I made, I chopped the onions and I forgot how stingy onions can be.
But did you see how quickly I chopped my onion?
Yeah, you're way faster than I was. And I don't see any tears coming out of your eyes.
No. So what you have to do, that's actually one of the tips. I think a lot of people knows, but just in case. So when I cut the onion in the half, you have to rinse it first. Otherwise you do end up crying, So I do not know if you notice, like I cut it in a half and then I quickly rinse it. Oh. And then I just chop it. But I also try not to look because I chop very fast. I just look other way around and I just do it. And I actually study hotel restaurant management in Sweden. So our teacher taught us how to hold a knife and how to put your finger so you don't chop. So basically the key thing is like you are able to chop anything without looking. Oh, but the key word is like you have to, I do want to show you this one actually. I'm so excited. I just remember my teacher now. So I'm going to show you how to chop onion without even looking. And every piece is going to look same. It's not going to look, one piece bigger than the other one. So my onion is ready. So I put my finger right here and I go one, and then I'm looking at you and I'm chopping it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I just do this.
I'm actually looking at you and chopping it and every single piece is perfect. Look. Oh, yeah. Like very fine.
Chopped. I like it. I'm gonna try your tips when it comes to eating the onions, and then a lot of other things that you showed me. The fish, you can pan fry it and then cook it.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't have to pan fry if you don't want to, but normally we do very lightly, like a minute or two only. So the fish curry is the most popular dish in Bangladesh. So for that, I have the onion here. It's looking almost like a little bit of golden color. Now I'm going to add some ginger garlic paste, which I already have it here. So it's very important that you do a lot of ginger and onion and garlic. So I put the ginger, garlic, onion. Then I'm going to add all the other spices like chili powder. First, I'm going to start with some turmeric. Half teaspoon of turmeric. Then 1 teaspoon of chili powder because I like spicy. And I have the coriander powder here, but everything is fresh grind. This is not the, pre-made one that you buy from the store, because this one is at home. I roasted at home first, and then I hand grind it. So this gives you the smell, like the fresh flavor. Because the one that you all buy from the store, when you open the jar, you don't smell anything.
Right.
But this one, those old traditional one, the hand grinder.
Yeah.
So I roasted it and then I hand grind it. So this is my cumin.
Oh, that's beautiful. I can already see the difference between the one that there's cumin that you have and the one that I buy packaged in a box. Yeah.
So the one that you buy, the color is lighter.
Yeah.
And this is a darker color because I roasted at home and then I I did it with my hand. So it smells delicious as well. I'm gonna do a little bit of 2 bay leaves on my fish. And I'm also going to add, so all the tomatoes that I have, the leftover tomatoes,
Yeah.
I'm going to put it back to my fish curry. So this is gonna make the gravy thicker. My cauliflower looking very nice, as you can see.
Oh, they also brown up really well.
It is beautifully done.
Yeah.
This is done.
These are the
And
pakoras.
so as you can see, so these are the, see how crunchy it is?
Oh, nice.
So it's just dull, it's not soft, it's very crunchy. This is my eggplant.
Yeah.
And this is the cauliflower. So I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you later once everything is done. And the chola is right here. So we're actually done 1, 2, 3, 4 dishes already.
Yeah.
And my veggie pakora is looking pretty nice as well. I'm going to flip it. And the veggie pakoras are amazing. I mean, I recommend everyone, whether you're a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, this is like very delicious and you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely. They look really attractive and
very. And I just love the combination of the color,
You're right. They look very attractive. They turn out golden brown, but before they go in,
right?
Beautiful mixture of green.
Yes. And you saw I did not eat any, I did not add any water.
Yeah, that is amazing to me as well. So I'm gonna try that.
Just make sure that every vegetable is chopped very nice, finely, like very thin slices. And you just have to keep mixing it until it becomes soft. All right, so this is, I'm gonna add a little bit of water here so that way it cooks better. Okay. My husband doesn't eat fish, so I only eat fish, but I love fish. All right. So yeah, so the only thing is
now you're gonna cook the ingredients for 10 minutes or just a couple of minutes.
So the pakora is probably another 5 minutes and then it's ready because I already flipped. And the fish I would say about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, I would say about 10 minutes.
And then what do you do with the fish? You add the fish to the curry?
So I tell you, just in case we're running out of time. So once my gravy is looking nice and thick, I'm going to add my fish in there. And I can probably add a little bit of water just to have some gravy. Okay. But I might have enough gravy here, so I don't think I'm going to add right now because I just added water, as you can see. So as soon as my tomatoes are completely mashed, I'm going to add my fish here.
Isn't it
So
that when you have a curry and you have a fish curry, you have it with rice, so it's good to have.
fish, you cannot have it with roti or bread.
Yeah,
Fish, you have to have it with rice. Yeah, because fish curry, I mean, like, chicken curry or beef curry, usually you have it with bread or naan, but fish is something, it goes only with rice, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're right, because I know that that's why my husband's father's family is from Calcutta, so they also.
Oh, really? They eat a lot of fish.
Yeah, they eat a lot of fish, and
Yeah.
I had never had better fish than at their home. They know how to make
Absolutely.
fish. And so my family, my father's family is from Lucknow, my mother's from Punjab, but they both grew up in Hyderabad, India. So then I was exposed to Lucknow cooking, to Bangladesh, Lucknow, Punjabi, and
Right.
Kolkata. And so I love all the flavors, and I think it's so unique and it's so different. Yet, one would think, oh, they're all from India, but they're not. They're all.
They're not. They're not. Even, I have a friend from Calcutta. So when she cooks her fish and when I cook my fish, even though it's same fish, but our way of cooking, it's a bit different.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone has a unique flavor, unique style, and you develop that as you become more and more of a expert in cooking.
Absolutely. After this, I actually plan to make some halim for iftar, but halim preparation takes longer, and halim, I thought that traditionally, I don't think halim is from Bangladesh. I think halim is very Pakistani, or I would say Indian. But we Bangladeshi people love halim. We make a lot of halim as well. But I wasn't sure whether halim could be very traditional Bengali. But yes, I grew up with eating halim. All my life, I had halim. So we have. I love halim. So halim is one of my items for tonight's iftar as well. But because it takes longer time, so that will be after.
Yes, I know, I understand. So I'm going to ask you to send us the picture of the fish as you put it into the pot, and then what it looks like at the end.
My gravy is almost ready, so I'm actually going to put my fish, and I'm going to cook my fish with this for another 5-10 minutes, and that way it's going to be done. So you can just see how it looks. So let me see.
Oh yeah, so it's all going to cook together and it'll be a fish curry.
Yeah, then it's going to be fish curry. So I'm going to cook it for like maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water, and then my fish will be like, once I add some water, I have to cook another 5-10 minutes, and then it will be done. But basically, this is the fish curry, and I'm going to send you the final looks of my fish curry. So for sure,
fish curry and your final pakora platter with the pictures that you have and the cholas. And then if we have questions, we're going to ask you. But we'd love to have you again.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being such a trooper and spending so many hours with us in the kitchen. But
thank you so much.
I know that we'll be back, and we hope to have you at every iftar and for you to share lovely dishes from your Bangladeshi Jolie's kitchen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
And happy Ramadan.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much for having me, and inshallah, we'll see you soon.